What's good, y'all, man? So some breaking news, as y'all can see. Luke Kromenhoek has officially landed with Mississippi State, as y'all can see down there, man. Big time move for him. It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. Now, it's going to be interesting to see as far as how his receivers go, right? Because Kevin Coleman is no longer with the program. He was their best receiver, 74 catches, 932 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He is with Missouri now, you know what I'm saying, officially. I think they'll still have Mosley, who's going to come back. They're going to have a lot of young guys as far as the coming into the 2025 class. We'll talk about here in a second. Still going to have Craver. Still going to have K. Akarii. But it's going to be interesting to see how they form the system around him. Now, they got hit the transfer portal. Michael Van Buren, and he's with LSU now. Now, that's interesting because Garrett Nussmeier is likely going to be the starter unless he completely messes that up. But that is kind of what he's looking like as far as going to what the team is going to kind of be constructed around. So they also brought in a transfer portal guy from Oklahoma, Brendan Thompson. He's a 4-star out of high school, 3-star guy out of the transfer portal. Had a okay season this past year for Oklahoma. Will be interesting to see the impact that he can have with the Mississippi State Bulldogs going forward. Then in terms of this class, they brought in Anson Lewis from Oak Grove, Mississippi. He'll be a guy for them. Garon Johnson will be another one from Bartlett, Tennessee. He'll be a guy that looks to kind of carve out his role. So that's basically how it's looking right now so far for Luke Kromenhoek and obviously Mississippi State. It's an interesting pick. I want to see how they're going to be able to develop him. Now, one thing I can say that's positive in this is that for Luke, they usually have pretty top-end quarterbacks, right? They usually do a really good job with that. It usually just the defense that suffers, you know what I'm saying? So this might be a good place for Luke to go to develop, kind of come into his own, get the right coach, get the right system, where he can kind of flourish a little bit. So, I mean, go back to days of Dak Prescott. Van Buren had a pretty good year last year. Usually a guy that starts or plays for Mississippi State usually ends up, you know what I'm saying, having a pretty good career overall. Now, like I said, that's in terms of stats and what you can produce on the field. In terms of team success, that's a little bit tougher to do when you go to when you go to Mississippi State. They haven't been winning that rivalry in a long time. They've been one of the teams that's been struggling in the SEC over the last decade, pretty much, since Dak Prescott has been in the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think he's going to have a pretty productive season. My early targets for him, I think he'll throw for over 2,500 yards this year if he starts. Again, he got to start. Over 2,500 yards. I'm going to go 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think he can have that kind of a season this upcoming year for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. But y'all comment below. I know some Florida State fans came for me and they said, look, he's asking for too much money. He's asking for $1 million. Someone said $700,000. I'm not a Florida State insider, so I don't know how true that is or if that is factual or not. But I will say I'm happy for him. I wanted to see him get another opportunity to show off his talent. And I think Mississippi State, even though I didn't pick them out, that could be a good fit for him from what they produce at the quarterback position and how usually they are really good. They're really good coaching, usually a pretty good offensive coordinator. But that's my thoughts. That's my reaction. Luke Kromenhoek, the newest Mississippi State Bulldog.